Hi, I'm Bridget Bissell. I'm representing Group 1, and the issue that we are debating is GMO labeling. Our group's position is that it should be required and enforced. GMOs are genetically modified organisms, and it is the use of biotechnology to intentionally make a copy of a gene for a desired trait and transfer it from one plant to another. Farmers use GMOs in order to reduce yield loss, to reduce crop damage from weeds, diseases, insects, and extreme weather conditions, to reduce the impact of agriculture on their environment and their costs. The use of GMOs has reduced pesticide applications in the US. It saves farmers time and money and reduces the environmental footprint. There are 8 crops that are commercially available from GMO seeds in the US right now. They are corn, soybeans, cotton, canola, alfalfa, sugar beets, papaya, and squash. Producing and eating genetically engineered foods may pose unexpected environmental and health hazards. The safety of genetically engineered foods is unknown. While there's no conclusive evidence that genetically engineered foods are unsafe, there is also no conclusive evidence that they are. Many scientists are saying that in the face of scientific uncertainty, labeling is an important tool to help track potential health risks. Chronic toxicity testing is also not a requirement for genetically engineered foods, but it should be. In the absence of strong health and safety data, many national governments across the world have taken steps to minimize the presence of genetically engineered foods within their borders. In Europe, 6 nations have enacted bans on the cultivation and import of genetically engineered products. Nearly 50 nations worldwide require that all genetically engineered foods must be labeled. Investigators reviewed 19 studies of mammals fed genetically engineered soybeans and maize, and they found that several convergent data appear to indicate liver and kidney problems as endpoints of genetically modified organism diet effects. 3 reasons to support our position is that consumers have the right to know if the products they are consuming are genetically modified. The second reason is that labeling is important for tracking long-term health outcomes related to the consumption of genetically modified organisms. And the third reason is that adverse environmental effects associated with genetically modified foods affect our health on a systemic level. 3 key groups who share our position are the American Public Health Association and American Nurses Association, which is an organization made up of various health professionals that influence federal policy regarding many public health issues and advocates for science-based programs. Both are part of the Quad Council. And they support our position because they argue that consumers have the right to know and choose whether or not they will buy genetically modified food. They have concerns relating to the exposure and consumption of genetically modified foods on health, for example, allergies, and it is important to know what patients are eating, and also because they promote informed consumer decisions when purchasing food items. Another group that shares our position is consumers, who believe that they have the right to know that food they are consuming has been genetically modified, that they have the right to choose whether or not they will purchase genetically modified foods, and they are concerned about the safety of consuming genetically modified foods. And a third group who shares our position is the Center for Food Safety, which is a nonprofit organization focused on environmental, agricultural, and health issues. And they support this position because they believe that consumers have the right to know if their food has been genetically altered. Genetically modified foods are not material equivalent to non-genetically modified foods, and adverse environmental effects associated with genetically modified crops.